Okay, today we're going to tie a little yellow stonefly, which was the very first original pattern that I came up with years ago after first seeing these hatching on Kettle Creek when I was a kid. Not having a suitable imitation, it put me on a mission. One of the things that I've learned over the years is that yellow sallies can be a really critical hatch. Fishing in the Poconos, the Catskills, across northern Pennsylvania, they are rarely passed up when the fish have an opportunity to feed on them. So for me, this fly is an insurance fly, and for the last 40-odd years, it's been a critical part of my fishing success. So we're going to start with 8/0 uni thread and light Cahill, and we're going to begin a short distance behind the hook guy and anchor that thread to the hook. And we're going to take our thread and advance it back to the beginning of the bend in close turns. And at this point, we're going to introduce a small amount of dubbing. We're going to spin it onto the thread tight, and we're going to make a stacked dubbing ball. The dubbing ball is really important because it's going to serve a function of creating a wedge to keep the tails spread when we tie those in. I always like using forked tails on my dry flies. The bend's always the heaviest part of the hook, and dividing the tails doubles the amount of surface tension that we have to help keep the fly afloat in the film. So what we want to have at the end of the day when we make a nice dubbing ball is this abruptness on the forward edge. As we introduce our fibers for the tailing on there, that's going to create the wedge that's going to fork the tails and keep them in that position throughout the life of the fly. So for the tails, I'm going to use microfibbits, and these are relatively fine fibered materials. I'm going to use 6 of those. And stonefly tails are short compared to mayflies and other bugs. So we're going to introduce those fibers on top of the hook and allow them to extend about 1/3 of the length of the hook shank. So we'll pinch those in position, tie them down on top of the hook, and begin wrapping backward. We're going to stop just forward of that dubbing ball. Trim off the butts, and you can see that those fibers have started to spread naturally on their own. So now we're just going to take them the rest of the way to get 3 fibers on either side of that dubbing ball, and now we're going to wrap up tight to the base of that dubbing ball. So in our perfect world now, we have 3 fibers on each side of that dubbing ball. So now we're going to dub the abdomen of the fly, and we're going to use that same sulphur yellow superfine dubbing. And stonefly bodies are not tapered. They're generally pretty even throughout the abdomen of the fly. So we're going to build an even dubbed body. And we're going to wrap forward to the midpoint of the hook. I'll go a little bit further on there. And call that quits. Now this fly has 2 components to the wing, and the first component is an underwing tied from a material that I produce and sell called Poly-X, and this is a very pale yellow, has a lot of shine to it, produces a really dramatic effect on the fly. improves the flotation. So we're going to tie this on the top of the hook shank that extends just beyond the hook bend and bind that in place. So we want to keep that on top of the hook shank. And trim that off, trim off the butts. So what's really beautiful in the finished fly is that Ahrex is going to not only improve flotation, but it's going to create a lot of glimmer and sparkle as sunlight comes down and penetrates through it. It really helps to create a nice target for the fish. So the overwing is going to be bleached coastal deer. And this is a really finer diameter hair that's down on the legs of the deer. And we're just going to put a small bundle. This is not we don't want to overdress this. It just adds weight to the fly and reduces the flotation. So just a small bundle of that is probably half of a wooden matchstick. And we'll put that in the hair stacker. And we'll get rid of any fluff or short pieces. I like to have the tips relatively even. And again, place that on top. That is just slightly longer than that Ahrex underwing. I'm going to cord my thread. We're going to try to keep the hair up on the top of the hook, a loose turn or two, and then put some tension on it. I'm going to wrap back. And then we're going to trim off the butts of our deer hair. We want to try to trim them off on a little bit of a taper. It'll make it much easier to finish the fly nicely. There we go. Now for the hackle, I have a really light yellow dyed hackle. I prepared it by pulling off the fluff from the base and exposing a length of the stem. So when I tie this in, I want to make sure that I tie in at a point that leaves a short length of bare stem between the tie-in point and the place where the barbs radiate from the stem. If you fail to do that, your first turn will always have a few fibers that kick at an angle, and you will not get a good hackle wrap as a result. You see that little gap, that little space in there, really crucial. So back to that sulphur yellow superfine dubbing. And here I'm going to try to dub on a taper. We're going to gradually get thinner as we move towards the hook eye. So the first turn or two are going to be behind that hackle tie-in. And now we're going to come up in front and start to work our way forward. So we can make sure we don't have any gaps anywhere. And we purposely stop a little bit further from the hook eye than what we normally would on a dry fly. There's a purpose behind that. So now I'm going to wrap my hackle in open turns so we don't obscure the color of that thorax dubbing. And I usually go 3 to 4 turns as I get to the front of the fly. I can tie that hackle off with a couple turns of thread and clip off the remaining hackle. And now we're going to dub just a very small head in front of that hackle. Stoneflies always have a really blunt head profile compared to other bugs. And do a whip finish. And the last element is to roll the vise over. Why I love my Regal. And we're going to trim off the hackle fibers on the bottom in a V, which is going to get it sitting a little bit lower in the film than a full hackle fly. I wish I had a $10 bill for every one of these I've tied in my life. I would probably retire a year earlier. It's just fly fishing insurance. Hope you enjoyed that.